The next item is 12B1, report regarding facilities maintenance operations projects. Dr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. This is a monthly report from the Facilities Maintenance and Operation Department, and we have Mr. Trevino here, our Executive Director, who will present this month's projects, and this item is for information purposes only. Mr. Trevino?
Good evening, members of the board. Superintendent Dr. Gonzalez. I will be presenting on this month's facility report. Our first slide consists of our completed projects, which were ongoing on our previous report. This is our serving line replacement projects, our Brown Middle School AC upgrades, which are now complete, our McAllen High School HVAC upgrades, our Lamar, Brown, and Alvarez partition replacements and remodeling, our Chief Early College re-roof and HVAC upgrades, which is fully completed now, our science labs, and our Pettis Elementary playscape. Our next slide is also now completed, which is our Memorial High School auditorium and our Rowe High School auditorium. They both received a huge upgrade on the inside, as you can see on the pictures. Those are pictures of both Rowe and Memorial on the inside, and those are now completed as well. Our next slide is our ongoing project, which is our Agricultural Learning Center, which is in progress. If you drive by, you can already see the building pad already up to the elevation that it's going to be at. And it's moving forward with the trenching commencing today for utilities. Our next slide is a new nurse's office area at Lamar Academy. This is over in the new science wing. We've converted one of the small rooms over in the science lab area or the science building. It now has an isolation room. It has a reception window from the hallway for the students, and along with a workstation for the nurses area with the fully ADA accessible restroom and sink and refrigerated area. The old nurses office, if you when you walk into Lamar, it's on the left-hand side. That will now become a parental involvement room. We will be demoing the booths that you had there for the isolation areas, and that will become a parental involvement room right there in the front entrance without having to go into the actual building. Our next slide is the remodel on the front of Mcauliffe Elementary. That will be the new reception window as you walk in to be greeted before the safety doors. We've also done this at several elementaries as well, such as Jackson, Rayburn, Garza, Bonham, Roosevelt, and that is in progress as we speak right now to be completed. Hopefully the first or second week when we're back from the holidays. Our next slide consists of our ongoing projects as well, which is a Mcauliffe baseball fence that is ongoing. We're looking at that to be completed here in the next 10 days. We have the bottled water filling stations, which have been ordered a while back, and those are scheduled to come in here towards the end of January, sometime in February, and installed. And in one of the slides there in the middle section, you see the Memorial High School Agricultural Welding Shop, which FMO went ahead and put all the welding booths together, along with the ventilation system, exhaust systems, and that is just pending an electrical panel box, and then everything should be fully completed there. Our next slide is the last two portables that were moved over to our Staff Development Center. As you can see there, the decking is now complete. We're just pending fire alarm connections and inspection, and the two additional portables are now fully complete over at Staff Development. Our next slide is our ongoing projects. These we've already assigned a notice to proceed, and pending the notice to proceed, pending the fire marshal's final review of the plan, the contract has already been signed, fully executed, and these are 6 brand new fire alarm replacements throughout the district at Cathy, Crockett, Navarro, Castañeda, Travis, and Jackson. Other upcoming projects that we have on our next slide here is phase 2 of the partitions over at Lamar, the Culinary Arts Lab, which is pending legal contract right now. The Memorial Tennis Court resurfacing is also pending the legal contract. The McHigh door replacements, which is an item that's coming before the board tonight. The intercom replacements for 9 of our campuses. That is also, the contracts are being executed as we speak this week. The memorial roof, we will be receiving bids this Wednesday before we leave for the break. The McKay HVAC upgrades phase 2, we've just finished the design plans with our design team. The Houston Elementary School playground upgrades, which is upcoming, along with our HVAC upgrades for Rowe and Lamar as well. We've started the design process for those 2 projects. Our next slide is the work that's about to start taking place over at Sanchez Elementary, and this is in conjunction with Hidalgo County as the Wi-Fi project. Those are pictures of 2 different antennas that the installer that we're working with has installed in different locations throughout the county, and that's what the antenna is going to be looking at. It will be located on the north section of the pavilion over at Blanca Sanchez Elementary. Our next slide is air purification systems. As we talked earlier, we are currently right now, FMO staff, along with Ms. Benavides, we've been looking at different options, different types of air filtration systems that are out there. We're currently using a certain matrix that we're looking at systems that have been already either tested or fully vetted against COVID-19, either through an independent laboratory. If they have not gotten to that point, we're not even, considering those. So right now we're looking at about 3-4 different systems, and we're doing the cost comparisons so that we're able to see what is the best value to the district to keep our students, staff, and teachers safe. Our next slide is the work order submitted and completed for the month of November. You've got 845 and 1,406 completed. And this pretty much concludes our report. On behalf of facilities, maintenance, operations, and our both warehouses, we'd like to wish everybody happy holidays and stay safe. And thank you for your all support as always.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. But you're not off the hot seat yet. Any questions for Mr. Trevino?
From my end, Mr. President.
Okay, Trustee Sandoval, go ahead, sir.
Just thank you for everything. It's been a fantastic year, and we're off with the funds that are available now and the maintenance tax note set up in the construction in our budgets ready to go. And there's one tonight we're going to approve and move forward, along with all the other projects that were taken either by TRE or allocated funds by the board. We're right on track, and really appreciate you doing that, especially at Lamar Academy and getting that to the level that we needed to get there, as well as each and every one. I'm still concerned with the McAliffe security aspect. I don't want us to go at this late hour into closed session, but that's something that we could follow up on a later date, what the real status is of the front, because all the others have a film on the glass so you can't see in. I know there's a tradition at McAliffe about seeing the Christmas tree, but that is a concern, as you can see right down that hallway from the street and see who's in the hallway and who isn't. That's a concern. And the other is a memorial, and that's all I'm going to say. It's a big concern at Memorial. So I'd like to see a status on those two at some time without going to close.
Will do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Duly noted, Trustee Sandoval, and we'll work to see if we can put it on the agenda for next time. Any other questions, comments? I had 2 quick questions, Mr. Trevino, and his great presentation. This is more probably for Dr. Gonzalez. On the Ag Learning Center, the naming rights, I think there's been some discussion before in the past. I don't know if there's been any lately, but it's not for me to say, but I would like for us to maybe possibly take a run at deciding if we're going to do any naming rights with that ag farm, but I'll leave that up to your administration, your team to discuss that to see if that's even feasible.
Yes, sir. I was in a meeting today with Norma Zamora-Guerra and her team, and they're talking about different naming rights and our current sponsors and things that we're doing on that side of generating dollars. And that is one conversation that we had. So we'll definitely bring more information to the board about potential naming rights and our plan for that.
Okay, and then I think the next one, I don't know whether it was Trustee they said there or someone who talked about fencing there to match it with the city of McAllen. I don't know if we approached them to see if that's even, if they can help us with that, or if there's something, within the grants, the parks grant that can help us. So that was just the other thing I want to bring up.
Yes, sir.
And then on that, Mr. Trevino, just one quick question on the Mcauliffe fence. Is that going to be the same fence that was up before, or it looks to me like it might be a different fence? I'm just curious.
The fence that was there was a wood fence, and we're coming back with a wood fence with a wooden structure. We're going back with a steel structure now with the same wood planks. So that fence will be matching the fence at Rowe High School. Got built a couple years back.
That's what threw me off is the concrete, I guess, on the poles. But okay, thank you. Excellent report. Thank you, sir. Any other questions from any board members? All right, not hearing none. Thank you, sir.